Okay, I just want to let everyone know I did start the recording. And I want to call the curriculum committee meeting for March 6th, 2025 to order at 2:31. Okay, I am going to mute the mics for anyone that's not directly speaking. If you need to speak, just remember to put your mic on. And before we begin, I want to remind everyone that if you are not a voting member of the curriculum committee, that you should not be raising your hand when we call a vote. Only members of the curriculum committee curriculum committee can vote on the items. The technical review committee does not vote either. We do have a couple new people. That being said, I want to introduce our new Director of Curriculum and Assessment is Christina Garcia. I believe she is here. And we have a new Coordinator of Degree Audit, Ali Satut. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. And I'm going to check if...
It's Ali.
Ali.
Yeah.
And I'm checking.
I don't see that he's here yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. Christina, are you here? Yeah, I saw you trying to get in and out. So Christina is in attendance today. Would you like to say hello? So Christina's microphone is unmuted, so I believe she's attempting to say hello, but that is our new curriculum and assessment director. If you've not met her yet, she started with us, I believe, at the end of February. Okay. So again, remember, when we call the votes, just individuals who are already curriculum committee members will be voting. The first thing I would like to do is have a motion to approve the minutes from February 6, 2025. Can I have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Second.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And all in favor of the minutes, please raise your hand. And again, this would be only members of the curriculum committee, please.
Now you can turn the mic off.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, if you are not a member of the committee, don't vote on the items. All right. Any opposed to the minutes? Okay. Those have passed. Can I have a motion to approve the first item on our list, which is actually old business? Can I have a motion to approve item 24-74, PHS 240? It is a new course of scientific data analysis, and you will see that on your screen right now. PHS 240.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Sheldon, are you here to present? Yes.
Yeah, so we brought this up at the last meeting, and at the time it was called, I think, Math and Statistics. So you can see there, Math and Statistics for Science. And so the question was, hey, is this maybe actually a math course, not a science course? So we went back, sort of created a table of all the content, shared that with the math department, had some good conversations, and they, just to get them on board with it, and they agree that, yeah, it's got a lot of math in it, but it is a science course. It's really an applied class. This is meant for students, especially students using the PLUS Lab and doing research. This is a sort of a supplemental course, so they can really learn how to test hypotheses using, large sets of data. But yeah, so we think with the new title and then making sure we've really worked sort of through the whole outline with the math department that it's, our own class, and we're not stepping on any toes of statistics classes or anything like that.
Okay. Any questions for Sheldon on PHS 240? Okay, with no questions. All in favor, please raise your hand.
We're good.
Okay, and lower your hands. Any opposed? Thank you. The item has passed. Okay, can I have a motion to approve item 24-102, which is a revision of the nursing curriculum? You will see the item on your agenda, C218AA, which is a spring start for the nursing AAS, and C218AB, which is a fall start for the nursing AAS. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. If you can't see the text that well, you can use the plus button to kind of zoom in on this. I'm only going to hold this up for a moment, though, because I am going to pull up the nursing curriculum, but you'll see C218A. The program is going to 62 credit hours. There's two versions. One's a fall start for student, one's a spring start for students. And I believe Joyce is here to present this. While she is presenting, I'm going to pull up. I'll start with the fall one. Go ahead, Joyce, please. Present this, and then we'll see if there's any questions. Oh, this is the spring one. Let me do the other one.
Mic's not on.
Joyce, are you here?
Her mic's not on,
Julianne,
Julianne.
her mic's not on, Julianne.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, and again, if you for everyone in attendance, if you can't see the text that well, just press the on the upper left. There is a little plus sign. You can press that, and you would be able to zoom in a bit more. I think that's on my. I'm doing it on my end, but perhaps on yours as well. Go ahead, Joyce.
Okay. Like I said, thank you so very much for having me here to discuss the new curriculum that we have. It isn't really brand new. What it is reorganized. And why we did it is about a year ago, we started to take a look at what was going on with our state board exams, what was going on with students passing, to find out that we didn't have a connection. And that connection was within the medical surgical classes. So, and that's how we started to redo everything. The first thing is that there are 3 different types of medical surgical nursing, and they're very important. And it's really like a basic type of nursing care that you get before you go into your specialties, and so you have to really know this. We had the beginning classes of 111, 113, which was then followed by the middle classes of nursing 116, 117. Then it was stopped, and actually students went for a full 8 months without having a medical surgical class, which was the final class of ICU. In that time, the nursing students could lose what they had to learn. They had to relearn it. And what had happened is that the 3rd semester had all the specialties in. So we started to reorganize it. We talked to students a lot. What did it mean to you? And they are the ones that said we needed a connection. And from there we went on. The second reason here was to work with the administration, and that was to develop the summer courses. And this is futuristic, not only for the nursing department, but also for Triton being known as a school with all of their courses going all year round. And that's how we came about with the development of this. The other thing was to reorganize some of the other classes that we had, such as if you were taking the mental health course of 207 and 208, you would want that the introduction to psychology to go before it and not after it. So there were 2 different ways there that we did that. Are there any questions?
And what you're seeing now, all of these documents are in the packet, as well as they were on Blackboard to review. What you're seeing now is the fall one. I'm going to bring up the spring while Michael has a question.
I saw something at a flash, and that's why I'm just asking. I thought I saw a semester that had less than 12 credit hours. That was not summer. If I'm wrong, ignore that. but that's
Well, let me look.
12 credit hours is full time.
Yeah, in actually, let's look at this. So I have the numbers written here. So for the fall one, this now that of course I pulled up the spring one. The spring one, I have semester 1 being 18. There's your pre-admission. Semester 1 is 18. Semester 2 is summer, so that's okay with 7. Semester 3 is 15. Semester 4 is
Yeah, that's all fine.
15, and then okay, and then the summer. Okay, so let's look at the this is the spring one, I think. Yeah, let's look at the fall one then. Let me pull this down. I believe this was the fall one. Now I have the numbers written. I just want to make sure I know which was summer, which was fall. So this is now the fall one. For fall, I have pre-admissions. I have semester 1 being 18.
It's the 11.
I have semester 2 is 11.
Semester 2 spring 11 credit hours. That's not full time.
Semester 3 is 11. I want to make sure. Okay, so I want to make sure the semester in fall isn't short too. Let me look here. So semester 4 is actually a fall, and they're showing that at 9. Okay, and then semester 5 is a spring, and that's 13. So in this case, the spring of semester 2 is showing 11. The fall of semester 4 is showing a 9.
Well, what I would just recommend is that some of the summer things be moved to bring up to a minimum of 12, anything that's not at 12. And as the English, yeah, I did say, and it's fine, you know, I also said this wouldn't stop me from voting for it. It's not going to, but, you know, Rep 102 is going kind of late from 101, a lot of space between them. I also say, you know, that it's doable, but that's you taking 11 credit hours in the summer, and one of the classes is Rep 102. That's going to be a very packed summer, so that might be one of the ones to move to say the spring. But I'm just suggesting here. I'm not telling what to do, but you do have to have the spring and fall have to be 12, or the students won't be full time.
So Joyce, what we're seeing here is summer semester is quite a bit with 11. Potentially the recommendation would be to move the psych 100 in the rhetoric 102 into spring semester 2, fall semester 4, and that would bring up the full-time status for spring semester 2, fall semester 4. And then the summer semester would be nursing 215, 216. Let's have Stu comment, and then Joyce. Go ahead.
So thank you for your comments. I will tell you that these nursing students have almost all the courses done except nursing by the time they're getting into the program, just because the nursing courses are so rigorous for them to get through. And while they're waiting to get into the program, like many other allied health programs, they complete the gen eds that accompany this degree prior to that. I agree, Michael, they could move the RET 102 into the first semester, but I would say probably, again, the students are going to have these courses completed prior to actually getting into the nursing program.
Well, then the question is, Sue, is it problematic that they're not full-time?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure what the status has been, because I can tell you this is how nuclear medicine ran as well when I had the program. I'm not sure, you know, what the other programs are. Nursing, I can tell you many of those students have all those courses done.
Okay.
I don't like to speak on financial aid issues because that is not my area of expertise.
Okay, Joyce, do you have a comment, or would you like to hear from William Justice first?
I'll just listen. This is my first time here, and I'm taking everything in, which is very good. So anybody else who does have the comments, that'd be great for me.
Okay. William, please.
Yeah, so definitely my concerns are everything voiced so far, but that summer, how feasible or successful is 11 credit hours for summer? Is there a max for summer, and are we past that with that 11?
Okay, I just want to make sure, is there a max for summer? I don't have the answer to that. I'm contemplating one other issue.
And then
is there a max? Does someone know?
And then that other semester, fall semester's 9. I mean, if you go with the 8 week for summer, these students are in class. If this is straight non-lab or clinical, 22 hours in class. And actually that number is going to be greater because probably 2 of those classes have labs. So you're looking at students being in 24 hours of classroom time in a week. That's not feasible. I think it's...
Yeah. Well, that being said, and again, if somebody is in disagreement with what I'm going to say, please come up with a different solution. But I think if we moved, this is only for fall, it's not for the spring, but if you moved Rhetoric 102 to spring semester 2, that would bring that semester up to 14. If you moved Psych 100 to fall semester 4, that would bring fall semester 4 to 12. And then summer would be left with the 5, which would be nursing 215, 216.
That would be
Any thoughts on that? If they have it done, they have it done. Then it's up to them to determine how they're going to get full-time status. But at least the plan, the map would show full-time status. It would be 18, 14 summer, 12, 13 for the fall.
That sounds good. I like that one.
Okay, and here's what it is for the spring start is, spring is semester 1 for this start. So spring is 18, summer is 7, fall is 15, spring is 15, summer is 7. That's for the spring start. And then for the fall start would be fall semester 1, 18, spring semester 2, 14, summer semester 3, 5, fall semester 4, 12, spring semester 5, 13. And Susie, can you make a note on that? Because if we do vote on that, I want Rhetoric 102 to be spring semester 2, Psych 100 to be fall semester 4, and this is for the fall. If anyone has, Tracy, I'm sorry, go ahead. Tracy, I think you've been writing in the chat. Go ahead.
Yep. I think we need to realize that 18 credits for first semester nursing students is crazy. They have a hard enough time getting through the first semester. And so I'm concerned about that kind of load. There is a limit for summer, and it depends on how the class schedule is laid out. So you probably want to run that by Denise Jones to see what the time frame of each of those classes would be and whether or not they meet that criteria.
So yeah, if we did what we're proposing besides what was listed, if we move those 2 summer classes out, it would be the summer cap for fall would be 5, and then the summer cap with the spring start would be 2 summer semesters, both of which would be 7. I
so
think
what would be on first semester?
It's still 18 in both of them. I'll show you the first one. Semester 1 here in the fall, this is the fall start. Semester 1 in the fall, you've got AHL 112, BIS 242, Chemistry 110, and Nursing 106, 107, 108, 109 for 18. In the spring one, let me see if there's any difference. In the spring one, we have AHL 112, BIS 242, Chemistry 110, then in Nursing 106, 107, 108, 109. So it's 18 in both.
Could I say something?
Joyce, is that you?
Yeah.
Okay.
106, 106, 107, and 109 are taken together, but 108 is in the second 7 weeks. So that maybe people didn't understand that. It's the 106 and the 107 are actually theory, whereas 108 is a lab. And
So 108 is a lab. Is there
Yeah.
any class that ends? Is there any class that ends early? You're telling me that 108 starts late, but is there anything that ends early
no.
in this first semester? No.
Well, 106, 107, and 109 are in the first 7 weeks.
And then
they're
it's
not
over?
And then it's over, right.
Okay. I see.
So that's a little bit different sometimes when people look at it and they say, oh my goodness, all these things. But they, that's it.
Julianne, I just spoke with financial aid. I have a little bit of information if that would help.
Mm-hmm.
And pardon me if you've had these conversations, I was on the phone, so I wasn't listening. As long as a program is federally approved, which this nursing program is, even if the student is under 12, so 11 credit semester, they will still qualify for financial aid. It's just it's appropriated to the amount of credits that they are taking. So just letting you know that.
Okay. Well, Joyce.
Yes.
I'm going to just say, for myself, I would still move those 2 summers out to make it a little bit easier in the fall. If any of the committee members want to make a recommendation, either to support or to be different on that recommendation, please let me know right now. I know there's 2 people waiting to talk, but let's just stick with focused on that 3rd summer semester for the fall start. Do we want to move the 2 classes or not? I'll take comments specifically on that right now.
Julianne, could you repeat what you said? Take them out or move out the summer?
No, not just move them. Move them out of summer 3 and move them. My recommendation, and maybe you didn't hear this if you were out.
Yes.
My recommendation was to take the summer 3, which is at 11 right now, to take the psychology 100 and put it in semester 4, and to take the rhetoric 102 and put that in semester 2. And then the breakdown of the semesters would be fall 1, 18, spring 2, 14, summer 3, 5, fall 4, 12, spring 5, 13.
I think that the reason that the psych, and I can't see the second page of that curriculum, but I think there's some classes after nursing 209 and 211. Joy, could you correct me? I thought that they needed the psych class done before some nursing course had to be done.
That was,
Psych 100 here has to be done before nursing 207 and 208. 207 and 208 are in semester 5, and Psych 100 right now is in 3. Even if you moved it up to 2, that'd be fine, as long as it doesn't come after 208.
No. I think that she was saying to move it into 5, and you can't do that.
No,
I
move it
can't
into
move it
4.
into 5.
Move it into 4.
It is in semester 4 for fall.
Because semester 4 right now, as it stands, is 9 credit hours. It's nursing 213, 214,
Understood.
social 100.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay, as long as it comes before the psych. It's like, if you have it after, it's like the wagon comes before the horse, and you have to have the horse before the wagon.
Okay. All right, just contemplate that. Does anyone have a comment specifically on the movement of the summer classes? All right, we'll go with Troy then.
Julianne, you're going to need to amend the motion.
If we move the classes.
Yes.
Okay. Then let's just take these, and then if we're going to amend the motion after all the comments. Go ahead, Troy.
Great, thank you. For future planning, is it possible that when looking at these degree plan proposals, that we indicate first 7, second 7, especially since we're pushing heavily for the 8-week course offerings? Would that help in looking at what is actually going on in the semester?
Well, I mean,
'Cause
yes.
there's a lot of comments, 18 is too much, it's too big, but it's broken down into the first 7 and second 7.
Yeah, so you're basically taking, let me see what I have here. I wrote this down. So that first 7, you're taking, it appears to be the first 7, you're taking 17 at one time. Then when that first 7 ends, you're going to be taking, gosh, I need a math skill right here. 6, 7, that would be 11, 12. So you're going from 17 to 12 at one particular time. I mean, certainly we could somehow contemplate adding that in. We don't have the ability right now in Watermark, but that is something that we could talk at the next agenda planning if we could indicate that. I know, Antigone. We already went through this for 2 years about the semesters versus just list the classes. What is your other comment, Antigone?
Inside Watermark, I bet, because I did play with it myself. I know you guys said no to me, but I bet we can do the first 7, second 7, first half, second half of semester. We could word it that way. Because in the summer, if we had classes in the first 5 and the second 5, then it would be logical and logistically possible for students to do it. Honestly, I've said this for decades now. If we presented the curriculum to the outside world, this looks undaunting, the way it's presented, and I agree with it. And it looks hard for somebody who is not understanding of how courses run sequentially, and I think it would make students not want to come here. So I think it's going to affect our enrollment. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, just as a quick rebuttal to that, anywhere they would go, it's going to be rigorous as ours is. It's nothing new. It's challenging, right? It's a lot of programs.
I agree. The rigor is not the issue. It's just the way that it's presented, I think. If we just even had gen ed separate of core classes and then said, here's a sampling of what your schedule could look like, and have that as a downloadable PDF instead of this is the schedule. I mean, I know how this affects people's perceptions when I see them, because I have this issue with welding and everything else when you show semester 1, semester 2, and it's very difficult for people to understand what you're presenting and what it means.
I think in this case with some of these healthcare, they have to take the classes at the same time. I think some of these classes you can't just say, oh, I'm going to do one, like the 106, 107, 108, 109. I believe they have to be done all together. And I think that's why, in this case, that's why it needs to be laid out.
Some of those classes too are labs. Some of them are clinical rotations, and they're not all theory. But it is a good idea to separate the 2 different 7 weeks. This way people have a better understanding, I think, about what's going to happen to them.
And we could even include that in the notes for right now. Like in the notes section underneath some of these, they do have an area where we could put text. So we can certainly do that.
Sure.
I could add it in the catalog page.
Sue, do you have another comment?
Yes, I could add it in the catalog page as actual where the course would go. I could put first 7 or second 7 and list those courses under there, but still in the same semester.
Okay.
As long as I know
so in this case, it's the first semester, and the 106 is first 7, 107 is first 7, 108 is second 7, 109 is first 7. From what, Joyce, is that correct?
Yes.
So we got 106, 107, 109, first 7. 108, second 7.
Right.
I'm sorry, Sue, did you have another comment?
Me? No.
Sue Campos? No.
Okay. All right, any other comments? And then I'm going to do that secondary motion to approve. So with the second motion to approve, this will include,
The original person who made the motion should say, I amend the motion, and then state what you're amending, and then it requires a second.
okay. So who was the first one? Was it Michael?
Michael.
It was.
Michael should say, I amend the motion, and then say what you're amending.
Oh, God. What if I don't want to?
Can I help him? Can I help him after he says amend the motion?
Yeah, why don't you?
I amend the motion to say
In the fall
in the
semester, which is item, we're still speaking item 24-102, curriculum C218AB, nursing AAS fall start. The movement of the class from summer semester 3, rhetoric 102, will be moved into spring semester 2, bringing spring semester 2 to 14 credit hours. The movement of summer semester 3, psychology 100, will be moved from summer semester 3 into fall semester 4, bringing fall semester 4 to 12 credit hours. And the movement of those two classes out of summer will bring the summer semester to 5 credit hours. The nursing AAS C218AA spring start is being voted on as presented prior to the meeting.
Exactly.
That's the amendment?
That's my amendment.
Okay, I second it. Now you can vote. Now you can vote on it.
All right, all in favor of approval of 24-102 C218AA, C218AB, nursing AAS, spring start and summer start, please raise your hand.
Okay, we're good.
And lower your hands. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. That item has passed for the nursing AAS revision. Susie, when you update those changes, could you send that please to me, and I'll then disseminate that to the curriculum committee, copy Joyce as well?
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, we are going to new business right now, and I'm going to pull this down. Can I have a motion to approve items 25-5, which is C319B cosmetology certificate? It is a new curriculum, as well as items 25-6 through 25-22, which are 17 new cosmetology courses. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. And here we see the cosmetology new curriculum, 50 credit hours for this certificate. And who is here to present this today? Donita.
Hello.
Hello.
I am here to present the cosmetology program as a new program to Triton College. So am I just supposed to, I'm sorry, this is my first time. So am I just supposed to read through?
No, you could just tell us, you know, that what, how many semesters it is, how many credit it is, the need for this, when it's starting, things like that.
Okay. So it is tentative to start this fall 25. There are 17 courses in the program. It is 4 semesters. And I know Triton College used to have this program some years ago, and we're bringing it back to the community. There is a need for it, especially for like the high school programs, the high schools that are interested in the program. We've been getting a lot of questions and a lot of interest from the community for wanting this program, especially for the high schools. And it gives them a career opportunity because a trade is also a career opportunity for them. It's a certificate program. It's not a degree program. And they will be, well, with the high school, they will be starting this program their junior year, and it will be completed by their senior year. So they will be graduating high school as well as completing this certification program to take along with them once they pass the licensing state board. They will be taking this program, taking that with them either off to college or into a salon where they have a career aside from going to college.
Thank you. I have a comment, which if nobody else mentioned this, the total semester hours, Susie, are totally off. I did not see them, but here you have semester. Yeah, here you have semester 150, but it's really 12 and so forth. I think most of these are off with the auto sum on Watermark.
Yes, I had them turn that off.
So let's just make sure that we're aware of the fact that semester 1 appears to be 12. Semester 2 I have is 12. Semester 3 I have is 12. Semester 4 I have is 12. And then semester 5 I have is 2, which would be 50. So are we thinking semester 1, 2, is that exclusively going to be a fall start for semester 1? Okay. And then the last semester would, I'm going to assume semester 5 is summer with 2.
Yes.
COS 250 is 2 credit hours. And then everything else is 12.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions and comments on cosmetology? Nothing on that last page. Okay, looks good. All in favor, please raise your hand of items 25-5 through 25-22, one new cosmetology certificate.
Wait, Julianne?
And 17 courses. I'm sorry.
Julianne, we have a correction to COS 114. The credits.
The credit hours is supposed to be 3 total?
3 total. The lecture should be 2 and the lab should be 2. It says 3, 3, and 3.
Okay. So the lab.
You have to amend the motion. If you're changing something, you have to amend the motion.
I would like to amend the motion to correct the credit hours.
Okay. I second it. Now you're good.
Okay, everyone.
That one wasn't so bad.
Yeah, the hands are going up and down here. All in favor, keep your hand up or raise your hand. Item 25-5 through 25-22. With the amendment of 25-13 COS 114. It's 3 total credits. We have enough, Susie?
Yes, we do.
And lower your hands. Any opposed? Okay, those items have passed. Thank you. And all right, can I have a motion to approve item 24, excuse me, I would like a motion to approve item 25-23 through 25-25, which are 3 revisions of COT, COT 111, COT 210, and COT 211.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Is Francis here?
I'm right here.
Okay, thank you. Can you present 111, 210, and 211 to us, please?
Okay, so 111 is written incorrectly. There is no prerequisite. There's no Math 131 needed for plumbing students. So we're just updating the assessment. We have a new plumbing instructor as of a year. The previous plumbing instructor didn't care what order students took these classes in. The current instructor wants a stacked set of classes where he teaches safety and skills the first semester and then builds on that each semester. So it still will be a 1-year certificate with COT 111 being done in the fall for the whole semester, and then COT 210 and 211 being 7-week classes in the spring semester. I increased the course fee. Building materials have been going up exponentially. Started with, it's getting worse. We spend thousands of dollars on plumbing and carpentry every semester for just basic materials, not even tools, which I usually get through Perkins. So that's my rationale. And for COT 210, they would need to either take our COT 100, which is the construction trade math course, or math 110 or higher. The reason I put math 110 or higher is we often have people who have a previous degree, and it just stops me from having to do a bunch of I'm spacing right now. Sorry, I've been really sick. Stops me from having to do a bunch of exceptions. Yeah, general petitions. Thank you, Susie. So that's the base, and just updated the textbook too.
And Susie, I have a question. If CO2 111 does not have the prerequisite of Math 131, was that in Watermark or in the agenda packet, or is it just wrong on the PowerPoint?
It was in Watermark, I believe, so I'll go change it.
So you must have to do an amendment for the motion again then.
Yes.
Correct.
Is there any other questions before we do that?
Do you want, so you need it amended to remove the math requirement?
For CO2 111, yes.
I'd like to amend to the motion CO2 111 to take away the math requirement.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any other comments or questions for Francis? Okay, all in favor, please raise your hand.
We're good.
And lower your hands.
Thank you, everyone.
Any opposed? Thank you. Those 3 items have passed. Thank you, Francis. Okay. Can I have a motion to approve item 25-26C520A, Early Childhood Administration and Management Advanced Certificate Gateway Opportunities, revised curriculum, sorry.
So moved.
Second.
Is Hunter here? Here's the deal with this. We keep presenting the same item to get rid of the title, Gateways to Opportunity.
Hi, I can present this.
Okay, thank you. Allie, thank you so much.
Yep. So essentially, yeah, there isn't a change to the curriculum. It's just a change to the title. We were requested to change our title so that we removed the part that talks about the Gateway to Opportunity level. Gateways to Opportunity awards the specific level to the students internally on their end. So they just asked that we remove them from the actual title, because students then get confused and think that we award them with the certificate. However, Gateways has to award them with the specific level. So.
And the new title will be Early Childhood Administration and Management?
Yep, advanced certificate.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions or comments? All in favor, please raise your hand.
We're good.
Lower your hands. Any opposed? That item has passed. Can I have a motion to approve item 25-27, HRT 295, landscape CAD and graphics revised course?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. And is anyone here to present this item? Panos, please.
Yes, hi everyone. This is Sam Smith's. He looked very carefully at how the courses are presented to the students to be able to sign up, and it had no natural flow. So he's realigning content and prerequisites and course titles. So it's clear that there is like 2 levels of this kind of course.
Yeah, so the title is going to be Landscape Design 2.
Correct.
Any comments or questions on this? All right, all in favor of item 25-27, the revision of HRT 295, please raise your hand. And lower your hands.
We're good.
Any opposed? Any opposed? That item has passed. Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve item 25-28, MAT 224, revision?
So moved.
Second.
We have Math 224, linear algebra, updated course description, textbook, learning outcomes, and it looks like prerequisites. Beth, can you please present this?
Yes. So yes, Math 224 is a course that we offer very infrequently, but it is one of our IAI courses. And IAI changed some of their recommendations. They recommended that the prereq be just Math 131. Previously, it was Math 131 and 133. But it was lowered to 131 because it's linear algebra, it's linear function. So then we no longer, IAI believes they don't need the 133 Calc 2. Also, so we changed that prerequisite. When we revised the syllabus and the curriculum to reflect that change, we also took time to update the course description so it pretty much matches IAI's recommended course description, and all of the topical learning outcomes that IAI once included are also included in our syllabus. So I think that's it.
That is the way to go, to match the IAI. Thank you. Any questions for Beth on 224? Okay, all in favor of approving item 25-28, the revision of Math 224, please raise your hand.
We're good.
And lower your hands. Any opposed? Thank you. That item has passed.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Last item we have, can I have a motion to approve item 25-29, which is C407J, Web Design and Technology in Activation?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Preferably when we have items, I would love for the faculty to come and present this, but I don't see, is it Daniel? I don't see him here. Deans, if you could please make an effort to have the faculty come, that would be wonderful. But in this case, the faculty could, if they're not present at the meeting, could designate someone to present for them, and it could be a dean. So we'll have Panos go.
Yes, thank you. This is a course, I apologize, a program. We look very closely at the enrollment patterns. The couple of students that they saw up as active students in last semester and this semester, they're not exactly taking the appropriate courses. It just happens that they have this program as active as their academic program. So practically speaking, there is not enough students to offer the required courses by the program. So we suggested that we inactivate the program for now, give a chance to students to complete any remaining requirements, or provide them with suitable substitutions, and then eventually delete the program, or I'm sorry, withdraw the certificate.
Correct. And that would be the way to go. I know that we inactivated some of the CIS curriculum in a previous meeting. We would make sure that we get the student contact information for each of those that are shown as actively enrolled, contact them. And as you mentioned, Panos, we would give them time to finish the curriculum while it's inactivated, or give them options for a different curriculum. And that's called sunsetting. And then once we know everyone is through, then we will bring the items back to curriculum. So you would have to make another submission on Watermark to bring it back to curriculum to withdraw. So we're just inactivating. No new students would be able to enter an inactivated program. And it will remain on the books as inactive until we bring that back to curriculum for a vote on withdrawing it. Prior to that vote, though, a study committee will be made from the curriculum committee and a few other employees of the college, which would investigate the rationale that a dean and department chair would present to us in order to withdraw the curriculum. So that is the process. Is there any questions or comments on the inactivation of the web design technologies? Okay, just remember though, if those that are inactivating have inactivated or are thinking about inactivating it, don't forget about it once it's been voted on for the inactivation. It does need to be brought back for withdraw after the sunsetting time is over. Susie?
Christine is in my office because her microphone doesn't work, so she'd like to say something to the committee.
Thank you.
Sorry, my name is Christina Garcia. I am the new Director of Curriculum and Assessments. I just wanted to introduce myself to everyone. Sorry, I'm having technology issues on my computer. I have 7 years of experience at Northwestern College doing assessment. I was the Dean of Academic Affairs. I was over the Gen Ed department over there. And then prior to that, I worked at Colorado Technical University. We did our assessment in Colorado. I was over the program of psychology. So I just wanted to introduce myself. If you need any help with Watermark or assessment, definitely feel free to reach out to me. I'm sure you saw Dr. Campos's email. My email is on there, so feel free to reach out to me if you need any help. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Christina. We are going
Welcome
to vote.
aboard, Christina.
Thank you, yes. We are going to vote on item 25-29. All in favor of inactivating C407J Web Design Technology, please raise your hand.
We're good.
Lower your hands. Any opposed? That item has passed. Okay, we're done voting. Welcome, Christina. Thank you for joining us at your first curriculum committee meeting. I do have on the screen right now the remaining 2 dates of the curriculum committee for the spring 25 semester. The deadline, and please adhere to this deadline, for the deans to submit to the curriculum office is March 10th. So it's always a couple of days after, usually it's the Monday after curriculum, but don't hold that as the thing. Always check the dates for the April 3rd meeting. The deadline for the last meeting of the semester is April 7th. That would go to the May meeting, and then we will not meet again until September. We have 2 other items for today. We're going to go with the time schedule for class seat time and break time. Sue, would you like to please present on this?
Okay, thank you. So one of the concerns at the college is that we are not across the campus counting time for our courses on the schedule the same way. So we're all familiar with Carnegie hours, which are 50 minutes equals 1 hour. That's for a lecture. For labs, obviously it's a little bit different. And I won't even talk about clinicals, but this really pertains to courses that are here on campus. So when we submit a course to ICCB for approval, we are saying that there is going to be a specific amount of seat time in that course. Again, going back to the 50 minutes. When we are putting courses on the schedule, if faculty are only accounting for 50 minutes, so for a 1 hour class, it's not a big deal. But when we start to get to classes that are 2, 3, and 4 hours, obviously a student cannot sit through a course that time, and they need to be taking some breaks. And so we need to account for that time for breaks when we're putting the time on the schedule. Because if you just account for the exact minutes, you're not accounting for any break time. Now, I'll put my instructor hat back on. I taught courses that were longer than an hour, and we're all adults, and I would not prohibit a student from leaving the class if it wasn't a break, obviously if they had to leave for personal issues. But we have to account for that time. So I just want to open up the conversation of how we would like to do that, so we make sure that we have the exact amount of time accounted for, plus breaks. There is nothing in ICCB, HLC, or in our curriculum handbook that discusses that and how we should do that. So I would like this committee to come up with an idea of how we would do that so that we can have uniformity across the campus, and that we are meeting what we said to ICCB. Because HLC does come through at times and looks to see how we're counting up time in face-to-face classes. So I want to make sure that we have uniformity across that. I'm not dictating or saying how it should be done. I would like this committee to talk about it.
Thank you. Michael?
We do it a lot. You know, our night classes all have 10 minutes built in, and the instructors know that. With the 090, we've built in a break. With the co-rec, it's easy. You just don't have them go exactly back to back. So that's for us, though. I'm not saying that I think that means everybody should do it that way. I've been in enough meetings where I've been told, you know, we do it this way, so you do it this way because we do it this way, and I'm not doing that. I'm just saying 10 minutes is enough. I will tell you some feedback from my night instructors. They are constantly asked by students, can we go straight through and leave 10 minutes early? So, I mean, a lot of students, of course, I think they're assuming then that if they need to, you know, go down the hall for a minute, they'll be able to do it. That's I just mentioned that, which doesn't mean it shouldn't be built in, but that's often the students would rather just keep going because they just want to get done as soon as possible. So I just threw that out there, not because I think we do it right and other people do it wrong, but just to start the conversation.
Can you give me an example then of that night class? Does it meet 2 days a week or 1 day a week at night?
It's a 1 day a week class, so I would just we have the amount of minutes needed and we add 10 minutes to it. So if it's, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think it's like 240 and we run them 250, and I let every instructor who takes one know that there's a 10-minute break built into how the class runs, and I think it's 10 minutes. Honestly, Julianne, I would have to actually go and look at them because we've done it so long to be exact. But if it's not that, it's something very similar to that. So, but all our night classes run longer. They're required to run 150 minutes, and they all run longer than that. And so the extra time that's in there is to allow the instructor to do a break, you know, whenever. I always tell them, you know, it doesn't have to be right at the middle, but sometime in there to have a break.
And I just want to make people aware that this entails making sure that scheduling knows the correct time. We're not talking about changes in contact hours on the master syllabus form, but it's rather making sure that the time you're scheduling it with the scheduling department matches that. So this may entail you looking through the CSAR and making sure the times are appropriate. Antigone.
Our students are exactly the same in the sense that, and I know that I don't live on a different planet in the career side of the house. They do not care for the breaks. They just want to go through. When they're in lab, in our case, we'd have to literally throw them out of the room and lock the place up from a safety perspective, and that never will happen. So logically, they have no desire to stop once they're in lab, because ours are blended lecture lab times. So the extra time is just going to be, I'm going to call it unpaid time on our side, because really that's what ends up happening. So we took the break out because it's the only thing the students did was just stay. So, and depending on who it was, they'd rather just get through, and those students who needed to leave early would just leave, you know, whatever they wanted to do. They're adults. They can do whatever they want, but the class will meet for the time that it needs to meet. How they choose to handle themselves during that critical course time, that's their problem, not ours. As long as we meet ICCB time requirements to the minute, we're good. That's my philosophy on it.
Yes, I think everyone needs to examine the schedule and making sure that the contact hours on the master syllabus match what is being scheduling in our scheduling system. And there's so many different days and times right now. Like we used to have so many that followed the same format of 3 days a week, 50 minutes, or 2 days a week. I think it was an hour, 15 minutes. But now there's so many different days and times. We just have to ensure that they're adhered to. Sue.
Oh, hang on. Here we go. I would just say, first of all, I wish our scheduling system was automatic and would check for this, and it doesn't. And so it is really however it's put forward when the chairperson puts it to the dean, that's how it goes to scheduling. So nobody is checking on these. So it's how it's put forward from the chairperson level that goes through. And I'm just going to take a little bit of comment to what Antigone said. It doesn't really matter to you. It needs to matter to you, because if you have a student, get that they're adults and they choose to take a break of a half an hour, they're not meeting the time of your course. So I would encourage you to put at least a 10-minute, again, I'm asking you, you don't have to do this, build in 10 minutes, and independent of when they take it, how they take it, you've covered that, and we make sure that the time is covered at that point in time. We do have to make sure that, Antigone, I know your labs are long. I don't have that most people can not walk away and take a breather or use a washroom or something for 5 to 10 minutes within your class period time. And maybe they're younger and they can handle going straight through, but I don't think all of your students are that capacity.
I hate to say it, when it comes to the young ones are the bladder problem children. They're the ones that need to take breaks every 10 minutes. It's terrible. It's honestly, the adults are fine. It's the newbies out of high school that need, you know, every 10 minutes they got to do something. It's insane. But reality is, even when we set a time, which we used to back in just a few years ago, they still would want to go when they want to go. It's not, it's the Wild West when it comes to the individual wanting to take their break, and we can't stop class constantly. So I
totally understand that. People are adults. Everyone doesn't have to use the facilities at the exact same time. But if you put 10 minutes on it and people go whenever they want, you have then covered at least some type of a break period. It would raise eyes if I saw a 4-hour, 3-hour lab with no time span of break there. It would raise eyes on that.
And I want to clarify, Sue.
Accrediting position, I've reviewed programs. I would say that catches people's attention. So I'm sorry, Julian, to interrupt you.
No, I just want to clarify, because I get this question all of the time. If it is a full semester, are we counting the finals or not in the time span?
I can address it if you'd like. Classes are built for a 15-week program. When we count time, finals are not included in that. That's why we have a 16-week schedule where we put finals in it. The ICCB rules say, create a 15-week class that does not include finals.
Mhm, mhm.
Finals are outside of it. Then when you look at the ICCB language, the next chunk says, because we have to submit it by 15 weeks. That's how they want something from us to ICCB. The next chunk of literature then says, you are then able to recombine that in any kind of format. Julianne, you teach in 2 weeks at Intercession. We do 7, we do 8, we do 14, we do 16, 15. So it's any combination of that. But the way it has to be submitted to ICCB is in 15 weeks, not including a final exam. So to your point, Julianne, 16 weeks, that 16-week is the final exam.
Right, and it's not counted.
Correct.
Okay. And just double check this, because we are making so many now, like you said, different, and a push for the 8-week, that we have to make sure the seat time is appropriate on the 8-week, which in the spring is really something that has to be addressed because of the spring break. We want the class most of the time to end before then and not have to have finals, when they come back. So just count the hours and the times. I'm going to put this back on the schedule for the April meeting as well, if we need to circle back on that. But if the deans could definitely tell in their next department meetings to have all the faculty, the department chairs, make sure that the seat time is appropriate. And you could find that on the top, on the master syllabus, on the contact hours. So every course has the contact hours for lecture. Every 1 credit is 15 for lab. Every 1 credit is 15 as well, but 2 labs equals 1 total credit. 2 lab contacts would equal 1 total credit for the course. All right, any other comments on that? Deans will spread the news, and we'll return to this in April. Did somebody want to say something? I'm sorry. Okay. We have our next item is the hybrid online course development, and Nicole is here. Thank you for being patient with us. I'm going to share the online course proposal for online and hybrids, and Nicole is here to talk a little bit about how to create hybrid or online course. And I do want everyone to know that the appropriate form is in the Blackboard curriculum shell. I just made a new link for this because I had so many people asking me, Nicole, where's the form and how do I do this? I wanted you to spend a few minutes telling the committee so that we could share that information.
All right, well, perfect. Thank you for the invitation to join everyone today. I put a link in the chat. So in answer to where it is, we have a new Office of Distance Learning SharePoint page. And that SharePoint page has 4 pages right now. If you were to visit it and look at the top, the second page talks about the training requirements. So if somebody wants to develop an online course, they have to be online trained. To be online trained, they have to go through the Blackboard training and also through the online pedagogy course and pass both of those successfully, or they can do the equivalent with Quality Matters program or IONS program. Once that is in place, then the next step would be to take a look at the proposal. And as you see on this page, which is the second page of the proposal, at the very bottom of that, the faculty member that's interested in creating an online course needs to have a conversation with their chair and with their academic dean, just basically saying, hey, I'm interested in creating this proposal and bringing my course online. So essentially, this page has the chair and the academic dean just signing off saying they're aware of this, they think that this could be a good fit for online or hybrid, and they are comfortable with the faculty member filling out the rest of the form. So Julianne, if you go to the next page, you'll see here some standard questions. When a course proposal form is submitted, you do also have to submit that evidence that you have completed the training. So all of you would have to have your training certificates from the CTE for Blackboard training and online pedagogy, or your QM or IM. You would include that in with this form. You'll see here you're filling out some information asking you if you've taught online, if you've taught this course before, and what type of resources and materials you are going to use. So next page. So there's another page that has a series of questions. You can see it here, just asking a little bit more about your modality, what type of instructional strategies you're going to use, and so on. And then next page. Here you have to sign off as the developer. All of these check marks just basically saying, I've attached a copy of my syllabi, I've attached a copy of all of my certificates. I understand that I am developing this using OER resources and some other supplemental materials. You sign off on all of that. And then finally, the last page has the series of signatures that need to be obtained. So you would sign the form, then you'd go to your chair would sign off on it. Then it comes to our office and the instructional designer will go through your course proposal. They'll go through to check your certificates and also your syllabus to make sure that your syllabus is aligned with your course proposal. So for example, if you say, I'm going to submit an 8-week hybrid course proposal, but then you give us a syllabus that's 16-week for in-person, those don't align. Well, it doesn't have to be 100% finished. We do want to see the alignment and that it does match. Once the instructional designer signs off on it, then it comes to me. I take a final look, confirm everything is what it needs to be. And if everything looks in order, then I put it in a nice little package and I send it to the academic dean for the final sign off before it goes to VP campus office, and she signs off as well. So that is the whole procedure in a nutshell. If you have an opportunity, I'd encourage you to look at the SharePoint page that I did list here. There is another page right after that, which is the course development process. And it will walk you through the entire process so that you can see dates, deadlines, what needs to happen when, and so on. So, oh, thank you. That's great. So if you look at the top where your mouse is, Julianne, if you go to course development process, next one, there we go. So this will get in depth. It is going to change a little bit. There should be an image there. I'm not sure. It isn't loading yet, but you could see underneath going through all of the steps that you would need to take in order to get it approved, signed off on. And then if you scroll down a little bit more, there we go. The planning timeline will help you out. So if you are considering having a course submitted for an online course proposal, if you are looking to field test next spring, you need to get all those course proposals in with all of the signatures, ours, the VPs, your chairs, and so on. All of those need to be in place by June so that it can get to the Board of Trustees and it has time to be voted on. If everything is approved, then you would start in August and September. So I know that's a crash course. I know you've apparently been on for a long time. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly. I'm happy to take questions here.
I also, in the Blackboard Curriculum Committee shell, I did put the link for the Welcome to Office of Distance Learning Resource Hub as well as the form. So I was updating that so people could find it if they're in the curriculum area. William.
Yeah, I have a question. So I'm going to speak for a lot of the adjuncts. I don't know for full-timers. I don't even know where my certificate completion was for the distance learning. I do know we used to keep a database of the names. I think that you're going to catch a speed bump with a lot of people saying, I don't have my certificate. Is there some sort of verification tool? Because I've looked previously and I can't find it, like on the CTE, any certificate library for stuff of completion.
Yeah, we do keep a database and we do have that information stored. We don't want to obviously encourage people to come and say, oh, just get it for me. But if it's a true situation, William, like where you just can't find it, it is definitely something we can look up.
And to teach hybrid, you just need ION or the college, the online delivery classes we did, correct?
Yes, well, hybrid or online. Yeah, you would need either QM has a teaching online certificate, ION, or the 2 Triton combo classes, any of those.
Okay.
Nicole, you mentioned something that an instructional designer will sign off on that. Who are the instructional designers?
Christina Hansen is
Oh.
Triton's instructional designer, and she's actually located in the same office as me. We're
Okay.
across from the business offices now in F210.
And once the work is signed off on and the course round 1 draft is completed, who reviews that?
So the order in which it goes, the chair signs off, the instructional designer signs off, then I sign off, then the dean signs
Right.
off. And then after that, it goes to the VP. And if the VP signs off, then it goes to the board. If the board says this looks great, we approve it, then we get notification in our office. A course shell is created for that course. And then our office starts to schedule a process with the course developer so that they can get assistance from the instructional designer, and we can have check-ins and go from there and help them in the development of the course.
And then who has the final say that it's going to run?
So after that, everything is developed. We've got a timeline. It goes to a peer review committee. So faculty members, there is a set of them. They are assigned different areas. We use Blackboard has an exemplary course rubric that we use to assess if a course looks ready to go and be student facing. So basically the peer review committee will take that rubric and they will go through it with a fine-tooth comb, and they will come back to the developer and either it's a scoring system based on the points, say this looks good, it's ready to go, or they could say this isn't quite ready, we need to see these revisions. In that event, it gets bumped back, revisions are made, it comes back for round 2 with the peer committee, and once the peer review committee signs off and the course is ready to roll, then it is considered ready from all of us, and it goes back to the VP's office so that they're made aware of scheduling.
If someone asked me how long this is going to take from the day I start filling out my proposal form till the day it could run, what would be the average time span?
That is an excellent question. I don't have a number off the top of my head. It is a very lengthy process if it's something that has not been done before. So if you say, hey, I've got this idea today, again, we need new course proposals ready to go by June. So I would suggest that from, people would start now gathering and getting those ideas together. Just because the course is not yet approved doesn't mean that if I'm a faculty member, I can't start roughly outlining what I think I would want to do in each week and so on. Not necessarily developing, but at least coming up with a rough timeline. So for the people that start, they get approved in June and they start developing their course in August, they have to be done with that development by October. That's when it hits the peer review committee. So we do have dates in place. All of that can be found on the timeline on the ODL SharePoint page. And I also have links on there as well to the bargaining agreements, both of them, what pages, additional details follow.
Right.
That's posted there.
Is that the only time that the development occurs is between August and October, or is there like a rolling one? Like if somebody decided they were going to start in December, can we still develop then like in December, January, or no?
No. So if you take a look at that timeline, there's 2 blocks of time.
Yeah.
There's essentially a fall course development window and a spring course development window. And again, we have a schedule for that because again, there are so many different steps. And the peer review committee, the peer review committee is faculty members, so they're teaching as well. So so we're pretty strict about these guidelines.
Okay, no, that's good. That's good. I see it. One deadline's June and one is October.
Right. Right,
Okay.
depending on when you want to field test. Because once you develop a course and it's approved by the PRC, then the next semester you field test that. And
Mhm.
once it's field tested, you're taking notes, you're reflecting on what worked, what didn't work. You fill out a field reflection, a field testing reflection. And again, based on any modifications you make, then the third phase, you would teach it again.
I'm sorry.
This follows the developmental compensation we have in the contract, correct, Sue?
Sue, there's developmental compensation. I don't know if she's stepped away
Yeah, I
from
don't know
home.
if you saw it. There is.
I'm sorry, I had to walk away. I'm here now.
Oh,
You asked me
Sue,
a
there's developmental compensation for the hybrid or online course development in the contract.
If this is an approved course to be developed, currently there is compensation of $2,000 when the first template is created. When the course is in piloting stage, which I believe is what you're referring to as phase 3, there is not compensation. You're teaching the course for a smaller amount of students, and you have release for the same amount of time, same amount of credits, whatever the course is. So if you're piloting a 3-credit course, you're teaching the course, so you get the 3 credits for that, and then you get 3 credits of release.
So
And that's if it's a hybrid or a fully online course.
So this is following the same compensation we have in the adjunct contract for the online courses then, correct?
The adjunct actually is paid differently because they don't get release time. They get a dollar amount on it. But yes, it follows the online process for hybrid. Hybrid follows the same online process.
Okay. I would encourage everyone then to go to that hub, the Office of Distance Learning hub. And if you have questions, I'm sure Nicole can help us out on that.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Nicole.
Sure. Thank you.
That is our entire agenda. Does anyone have any specific announcement? I have a motion to adjourn the meeting of March 6th, 2025 at 3:53.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, you could raise your hand and then you're done for today. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night.
Julianne, go have a drink tonight.